Grace. The grace of self gives rise to the desire for freedom. The grace of God brings you to the Guru. The grace of the Guru removes all doubts and leaves only freedom. I want to be free is the first grace. It is freedom itself calling you. This desire will take you to where it rises from, self. All other desires will burn in this fire. The grace of all the masters and the self has brought you to freedom. Don't have any doubt about this or about freedom. Grace is the relationship between the teacher and his worthy disciple, and is available nowhere else. This grace has no equal in the world. As the story of Kalyan, the humble sweeper, shows, grace comes only to a worthy disciple, one who is pure in heart and who serves his teacher, because truth exalts a holy person. If you are holy, the teacher accepts you and bestows his grace upon you. It is not you who makes this choice of freedom. It is grace taking you where you must go for freedom, the Satguru. It is grace giving you what you need, like inquiry and devotion, and which removes what you don't need, thought and desire. Without grace you can't cross the ocean of samsara. Without grace there is no enlightenment. This peace and love cannot be had by penance, austerities, or meditation. But if the teacher is happy, he compassionately gives you the prasad of grace and ends your journey in rest. It is a gift. It cannot be demanded or commanded. Gods can fulfill your desires and give you heavens, but they can't give you grace. So be careful and know what is grace and what is disgrace. Even if the king gives away his kingdom to his wife, it is not grace, but due to some interest. It is disgrace. In this way, everything you get from the world is disgrace. I want to feel the grace of self every minute of my life. You can keep this desire while you are doing yoga or whatever you are doing. It will not disturb your career. What you learn here will go with you and reside within you wherever you go. It will not matter if you are in Lucknow or in a cave in the Himalayas or in a San Francisco supermarket. When you find that there is no distinction, then you have crossed the ocean of illusion. Start from here. Go to wherever you want, stay wherever you like. I feel so much love for you, and I know this love is love for my own self. I thank you for the grace and wisdom that shines through you. You are beautiful, and I love you. This is all I can say. If somebody loves me, then they come and sit in my heart. One who loves me sits in my heart and is so close to me. They have nothing else to do other than this. This love is fearless and cannot die. I have a lot of trust that your grace is doing everything that needs to happen, and I am feeling such a deepening due to this grace. Is this grace stronger or more accessible the closer I am to you physically? Regarding grace, it doesn't make any difference whether you are physically close to the teacher or not. But if the physical presence of the teacher is available, that should be given preference. In this half of the century, most sages and saints are no longer here in their bodies, and so if the presence is available, make the best use of it. Doubts which come up in the mind while in the presence of the teacher can be given to the teacher, answered, and cleared. Later, if the presence is not available, it is difficult to believe the truth because the teacher is not present, so these doubts tend not to be cleared as quickly. So make the best use of the teacher's physical presence. For grace, it doesn't matter if there is a teacher or not. For instance, so many people have been benefited by Buddha, though they have never met him. although, like Kashyap and Ananda, they would have enjoyed the benefit of his presence if they would have been there. On Buddha Paranirvana Day, as the death of his body was very near, some man came to see him, but he was told that the master would be dying in a moment. But the Buddha saw him and cleared all his doubts in an instant. Then Buddha lost his breath forever. The presence of the Buddha enlightened over 500 people. With his very first sermon, people were enlightened, and to this day millions are benefited. If you have the occasion to be with the teacher, don't miss it. I know that time and space are illusion, and I know that grace is real. So it makes sense to me that grace transcends time and space. This is correct. There is no time or space. It is just a concept of mind which vanishes when it is transcended. At that time you must be sure that you have achieved everything and there is nothing more to do. This is the only thing worth achieving in this human incarnation. But I do feel strong changes when I am near you, and this is why I am asking these questions on the nature of grace. The nature of grace is to enlighten and to stop the cycle of birth and death. You must be in total trust of this. Know that you are not to be reborn, and even know more that this present birth is an illusion. Then you can be sure that all the world with its suns, moons, and stars are illusions which are real only when we think, and when we think they are real. When you don't think, nothing is visible. I am happy that you are here and happy to answer your questions. What is the role of grace in the process of surrender? Only with grace can you surrender to the Satguru, to your own self. You can't do it with your efforts. You must therefore please your teacher so that he is happy and bestows grace upon you. With this grace you will surrender everything to the teacher. Only this is called surrender. Using your own effort and your own mind is not surrender. Something will guide you from the inside and you will become a tool in the hands of the divine. Let him work. Let thy will be done. Everybody wants my will be done. They want this and that. But this will only last 90 years or so. This is the end of teaching. Grace comes when you surrender. This is grace. There is no other way. Do I deserve to be so peaceful and happy the way I am now? So few people ask this after getting the maximum. This is perhaps the Indian way. The people of the West are so arrogant that they never use this phrase, "Do I deserve it?" So many Western people say instead, "I already knew it," or "I know what your answers to my questions will be." I hear this every day. This is called pride. But there are some who, after hearing the words of the Guru, bow to his feet. This is Hanuman, who claimed he never deserved Ram's grace. Hanuman had crossed the ocean to burn the Lanka of the demon Ravana in order to bring peace back, to bring Sita back, restoring her to her husband. Then Ram told him, "Well done, Hanuman. You are so great. Who else could have crossed the ocean and done the job? What a brave person you are." Hanuman folded his hands as he heard this, prostrated to Rama, and went around him 3 times. Then he said only one word, "Guru Kripa," meaning thy grace. Who am I? I am just a monkey. How could I cross the ocean to fight this demon? It is only by your grace that I was able to do it, and to tell your Sita that you would soon be coming to bring her back to Advodhaya. What is the difference between grace and Shaktipat? Shaktipat is the transmission of whatever power a person has to you. You are not to practice anything because they transmit the power to you. I have had Shaktipat from a guru, and it made me feel very quiet and stoned, as if I just smoked 3 chillums. So why go to a guru when you can have some hash or 1 rupee behind the Gandhi ashram in Hazrat Ganj? This high will stay for 3 hours, and then you can have more. In this same way, Shaktipat of power without knowledge of the truth will turn the guru-disciple relationship into dealer-addict dependence. Don't cultivate a habit which is dependent on anything. You have nothing to do, and you will not get anything. Here there is no transmission or Shaktipat, but all that happens is within you. Nobody can give you peace of mind. It is within. The nearness will give you the peace which belongs to you. I don't transmit anything. I don't give Shaktipat. All that I do is to remove your dependence on anything else. If you don't depend on anything else, tell me what will happen. You won't lose anything. Just remove your dependence on God and on methods and everyone else, and it will shine and reveal itself. That you can't lose. This is the clarity given here. Remove the confusion and concepts from your mind that you will win peace from anyone else. You will definitely lose anything that you are given, so have no dependence. When you do not depend on anything, it will reveal itself without any method. Don't depend on gurus. What is the grace of the guru? It is the grace which has drawn you here. God within will take you some place to fulfill your desire. This is grace. Since you want freedom, grace has brought you here. What keeps one from having grace? Some people's hearts and lives are so full of grace, and some seem less fortunate. What prevents someone from being grace is the same thing that prevents success to everybody who walks on the path of freedom. They are looking somewhere else, and not surrendering their search to peace. Even though they are in satsang, they will look somewhere else, and not within. You are where your mind is. It is like the student in the classroom who is really out in the field in that coming night's sports match. You are where your mind is. So if you keep your mind surrendered to yourself and the satsang where you are, it doesn't take time. I came here because I knew I needed to finally hear the truth. I had met one of your messengers who told me about you. When the time is right, you will meet someone who will take you to the teacher. It is good luck that you didn't sell your soul to someone. So many teachers are not even able to even find their own self. These people deviate from the truth themselves. The divine has gifted you with the discrimination to see if someone is a good person or not. The Sanskrit name for this grace is Karuna. This will be your name. Thank you for your grace. Wednesday I'll be leaving for the States to attend to my business, rather than spending most of my time in Lucknow. And who has decided that it is better for you to go to the States, and who has it that brought you here to satsang? Even then you had to tend to business. But who was it that brought you here? What is the difference between the who that brought you here and the who wants to go back and attend to your business? I don't think that there is any difference. No, there is much difference. The difference is that you were busy with your business, and somehow due to someone's grace and your own merits, which you have won in the previous lives or even in this life, this who has decided to take you away from all your activities and to bring you here. Now, you have to decide if the who is calling you back to the same who, or if it is the ego. When you say that I have to attend to my children, then it is the egotistic who, not the one who decides for everyone what they have to do. How do you know whether your going is better or that staying in Lucknow is better? Who do you think is really taking care of your business? Who gives you the strength and intelligence to do your activities? Most of the people say, I will go now, and their body leaves, but who is it that operates the body to take this body from Lucknow to the States? Is it the body that is attending to it or the mind? What activates the mind, body, and the senses? Who is that one? We do not know, and so we have to surrender to the Supreme Power. If we have to go, we have to go. If we have to stay, we have to stay. There should be no difference. But you cannot decide. Most of the time when people have decided, they could not fulfill this decision. A couple of years ago, I had a friend in Delhi who planned to visit me in Hardwar with his brother, who had a garment factory in England. At the last minute, this brother said that he was too busy for the quick trip to Hardwar and wanted to go attend to his business in London instead. He did promise that the next time that he came to India, that he would surely come to see the master in Hardwar. 4 days later, in Hardwar, when I received a telegram from my friend in Delhi, he said to meet him at Kushagat, where the after-death rites are performed and the ashes given to the Ganja. He met me there and showed me a little bag and said, This is my brother who said the next time to India he would go to Hardwar. These are the ashes. Please bless his soul, and we will give him to the Ganja. He had died in London of a heart attack. So nobody knows. You have no time now because you don't know what will happen the next minute. It is better to surrender to the Supreme Force inside that makes the decision. Let it make the decision. But when you say, I have to go, this I is different than the one who is always there and functions in all your activities. When you surrender to the Supreme Power, it will look after you very nicely, and no mistake will be made. Even your business will not be affected. You can say, it is that doing the business, or it is me doing the business. So that and me has to be decided. You can look after your children. Who says not? Some people are here who say that they are leaving, but just returned back from the airport. They do this 2 or 3 times, and it means that the one who has brought them here decided to keep them here, and so they cannot go. In the last few days, I have felt that it is my fear of changing and my need to be a doer, which makes me want to go to the States. It is so. It is so. It is your fear. But I do feel very connected with you regardless of where I am. So, there is a double crossing in the statement also. It is a double crossing because you think it is correct, but it is not. It is a very high state to be with me regardless of whether or not you are in my physical presence. In this state you will never use but. Is there any special advice that you have for me? You must surrender to the Supreme Power who is working in all the activities you are doing. When you are not doing any activity, it is that is keeping quiet. Then there will be no mistake at all, whether you are here or not here. Thank you. How do we know when Atman is revealed and how to have the Atman revealed? It is not by your choice. As it is described in the Upanishads, I reveal myself to those that I choose. It is not your choice, but the choice of the Atman. Then it reveals itself to itself. I want you to choose me like that. You have been. If your neighbor calls you, you may not come. So how is it that people from all over the world come when I call? They don't even know until they get here that I have called them. No one knows this. Everyone is inside me. The one who calls and the one called are the same thing. This must be known when the one is chosen. Everybody is suffering and dying, but if you believe in the protector, the suffering will be destroyed. If you are equal to that, you will be exalted by the divine. So sit quiet here. You can't find this teaching anywhere. It is not a mantra or a practice. Just sit quiet, don't stir a thought, and don't make effort. There is no method to freedom. There is no technique and no method. Simply keep quiet. Methods belong to the past. Any method that you bring to mind is something you only heard of. So forget every method. With your grace, I know that a leaf from the Bodhi tree has fallen on my head. I am so grateful for what you have given me. This is the grace of the Bodhi tree. This leaf fell on the head of the Buddha and he was enlightened. Today, 2,600 years later, people still go there. Those who are true and seek only wisdom will be enlightened. Will the grace follow me back to the West? As grace is here, so will it be there. If you love her, she will not leave you. She is the most precious person in the whole world, because nothing gives happiness except her. Guru Kripta. Satsang, association with the truth. Satsang is the association with Sat, with truth. Keeping association only with that which will not destroy love is Satsang. Being truth, being with the wise, is Satsang. It has no past, no future, no this, no that. Just your own nature, a field of beauty. The one who comes to Satsang is happy. Even gods will take a human form in order to attend. The presence of the Guru is Satsang. The Guru's part in Satsang is to show you that there are no parts. When you do not inquire, you are in parts, and you become that which can be destroyed. Satsang in the human body is so precious and rare. Don't waste it by asking, what is this and that? Just humbly ask, who am I? Don't let your mind be distracted in Satsang. If you tie ropes to the past via memory and concepts, you are not in Satsang. Time is a concept, and Satsang is out of time. Stay where there are no ropes, no concepts, and no distractions or explanations. This is reality. Satsang is a tongueless teacher and headless students. So shut your head, let your heart open, and truth will reveal itself to you in silence. Only pay attention to that with your open heart. The strong desire for freedom rises only in an open heart. This desire is fertility of the land, to take the seat of the Sadguru's teaching. Satsang is raindrops on this opening heart. Only people near freedom need instruction, not those in the dark, not those in the light. Only Satsang will take you out of suffering because it shows you the silence that you have always been. Satsang is abiding as yourself, not as I am so-and-so. Asking how you are bound is Satsang. Satsang strikes at the root of bondage and arrogance and is the death of mind which few can face. Peace is not living in memory or mind. It is only here. Here. It is your nature, and Satsang reminds you of it. If you are on fire with anger, grief, and confusion, run straight to the river of Satsang. There are three ways: jnana, bhakti, and yoga. In Satsang we speak only of jnana or vichar, knowledge of who you are. Yoga is not spoken of here, and bhakti, the love of the divine, cannot be spoken of at all. In satsang, you have to remove your doubts because it is only doubts that keep you from being free. The serpent of doubt living in the heart is killed in satsang. Satsang is giving up beliefs, notions, intentions, desires, and illusions. This is the secret of freedom. The notion of creation rises out of Purusha, and the Creator is created along with all its concepts. Our attachments to these concepts become a reality, and only in satsang is this removed. To get rid of this suffering, attend satsang at any cost. Not activating the mind means attending this satsang. Satsang means a place of seclusion, of quietness. It is a place within your heart. Come to this satsang naked. I only have a few days to spend here. How can I best spend my time here in Lucknow with you? Already your presence has touched me deeply, and I no longer desire the objects and experiences of the world. It is enough to cease your desire for the objects of the world. Through any of the senses, you can get lost in the world. Fish die due to their sense of taste. Deer die due to their desire to hear certain sounds. Elephants are caught and killed by the sense of touch. They put an effigy of a female elephant on some bamboo which covers a pit. Then the male elephant comes to touch the image, falls in the pit, and is trapped. A moth dies due to sight as it goes toward the flame. The difficulties of being drawn by the senses can be overcome because the human being has discrimination and can foresee the results of his actions. Then they can choose to go towards peace instead of suffering. For thousands of years, the way that people have gone towards peace is to go to the Guru for one instant of satsang, ask their question, and have all their doubts dissolved. Then only moksham remained. Is it okay not to have any question? If I don't ask, am I missing anything? No, it's not okay. You must have a question. Otherwise you are missing freedom. If you don't ask, you are missing freedom because any pig, dog, or donkey does not have any question, and therefore they miss everything. Every human being must have a question to be happy. What is that question? Who am I? If you do not ask this question, you belong to the community that I have already named. This question is the last question, and only a rare man will ask this question. All the rest will not ask him. Ask the question, and find out the answer by yourself. The other night I was dreaming that I was in satsang, and I did ask this question. That is wonderful. So many people are having satsang in the waking state and in the dream state. Next will be satsang in the sleep state, and that will be eternal satsang. Dreaming satsang is good because your dreams are just the thoughts you had in waking state that get carried over. This shows that your waking state has been very well spent. I dreamed I came to satsang naked. Satsang is the Garden of Eden where you must be naked. You must even be free of nudity. Remove even nudity, which means remove the ego. No dress and no nudity will really be a good satsang. Then you will see what I speak about. I have felt your faceless kiss. Now what was once a fear of the unknown is an invitation to freedom. Excellent. This is the result of attending satsang. A very wonderful experience. This teaching is not available in any of the books. You must be faceless when you are in satsang. Then the teacher who has no head on his shoulders is going to teach you because you have no face. The teachers who have a head are better not to see. Head means ego. Satsang happens when neither the teacher nor the student have any ego. I think I will cancel my plans to leave because I want to stay here. Let the cancellation stand and don't think about anything. Just stay here. You need not go away, because here you will get everything. Wherever you go, it will be here, and you will get what you need. So don't think about this. Be here. Understand you have to be here alone. This is a mystery working. I am carrying a child within me. Do you have any advice? Should I abide in silence? Don't be silent. Speak to your child. Start satsang with your unborn child so that when he is born, he is familiar with it. Speak to your unborn baby. You have given me the greatest treasure. I so appreciate it. So many people are doing such hard work, but they do not know the treasure that lies below all this work. What they need is a reliable person whose word they can trust, to tell them that just below their work is gold. This is what I tell you, and those who believe it remove the practices, all the hard work, and immediately they become rich beyond what I can estimate. Riches of gold are lost every day. India even lost the Kohinoor diamond to the British. Even Krishna and the Pandavas had this diamond, and now this priceless treasure is lost. You can lose any object gained, but you can never lose that. That night I also dreamed that I lost my house to a fire, but when I called the fire marshal to put it out, I found that you were the fire marshal. By just looking at the burning house, you made everything burn more. I will tell you the meaning of this dream with the story. There was a sadhu living in a thatched hut who was cooking some rice on a fire. He left for a while, and upon returning he saw many people throwing water on his hut and dragging his few possessions out of the fire which was engulfing his little house. He took his possessions and threw them back into the fire. Soon it started raining, and the rain was putting the fire out. So he started putting buckets of water from a nearby river onto the hut. Some of the neighbors asked why he first fed the fire with his possessions and now was putting the fire out. He said, "Once in a lifetime, a fire comes to burn your house down. I was very happy with this and gave everything to this fire so as not to annoy her. Now it is raining, and so I am bringing water to be friendly with the rain. Put everything into it, and let the fire burn, including your attachments to the past. Even let your present and future attachments burn. When everything has burned, the rain of grace will fall on you. Don't save anything, and the grace will come and help you and look after you now and in the future. You need to think nothing and do nothing. Simply stay quiet and see how it works. Burn the bushes of attachment and you will see the grace." So this is fun. Very few people will understand this secret. Keep the flames burning as hot as possible, and when the water comes, let it come. The desire for freedom are these flames, and grace is the rain from self. I feel adrift on the ocean of ignorance. Can you guide me to the shore? I desire to be free. This is the only desire I have brought here. Everybody is ignorant, but nobody knows it. Everybody is proud of what they have done. This is called world. But when you have come to know that you are ignorant, you have come to me. It is enough. This satsang is a raft across this ocean. You need do nothing. Don't even speak about this ocean at all, because it has crocodiles which will swallow you up. Countless people have been swallowed and are being swallowed every day. But nobody knows that there is a raft. Just get into the raft and keep quiet. The pilot is there and you are his responsibility. You will be safely landed onto the shore. Actually, this ocean of samsara does not exist. It is only your desires, and when they subside, there is nothing which has ever existed. If you know this ocean is dreadful and filled with alligators and sharks, this is enough. These alligators are your desires for objects. for persons, for some enjoyment. Once you forget them, you are very safe. This is good advice to a young boy like you. I am glad you are here. It is a right age to come here. Even Socrates said that to know God you must be on the right side of the 40s. Ramakrishna writes the same thing. He prescribes coming to the teacher while in youth, due to a very interesting observation, which I have seen for myself on Marina Beach in Madras. I used to spend all of Saturday and that night at the ocean meditating on the beach. In the morning I would watch the fisherman put the net into the ocean from 2 boats, and after making a circle, close back up. As you watch this, you see 4 types of fish, which, to Ramakrishna, symbolize 4 types of men. Some fish see the net immediately and decide not to touch it, and they escape. This is fish or man number 1. They do not even enter the net. Sukadev is an example of this. Number 2 fish see no difference between one side of the net and the other, and do not mind either way. Ramatirtha is an example of this. He enjoyed the world and was a householder and a professor of mathematics in Lahore. But at the age of 32 he left everything and went to the Himalayas and never returned to his town. This number 2 fish also escaped the net. These are those who escape at a very young age. Type number 3 jump out of the net at age 50 or 60 after the net has been closed. But what I saw is that as they jump out, many were caught in the air by seagulls and cormorants. A few did land safely back in the ocean. Now, the 4th ones hold the net tight in their mouths for their own safety. Those were the fish that the fishermen brought to shore. They didn't even try to jump, but just held on to the net. These fish go on the table every evening. I saw the fisherman load all these fish into the baskets with the help of his wife. They were very happy and grateful, and out of gratitude put some of the fish back into the ocean, which so generously provided their livelihood. So by a special grace, these fish also made it out of the net. The second time they went to put fish in the ocean, his wife held his hand and said, "Enough." So some people escape this net in childhood, some in youth, and some in old age like me. Not holding the net, I could do it. So all the people with gray hair, don't worry. Be sure you will be offered back to the ocean. The fisherman is very generous, you see. Why are these books and photos and things for sale here? It seems to detract from the purity of satsang. If you go to Hazrat Gang, you will go to the shop which has what you want. If you want shoes, you will go to the shoe shop and not to the tailor. So in satsang, if you divide your attention here and there, it means that you have not come for satsang. You are just walking in to judge other. If you have come for freedom, you don't see anything or anyone else. It is like the man who gets a phone call in his office which says that there is a fire in his house. Immediately he goes. On the way, he meets a friend who asks him out to lunch. But he will not go because his house is on fire. Instead, he will go straight home to find out what can be done. So when your house is on fire with, "I want to be free," you will not accept an invitation of any judgment or relationship. You will straight away go to your home and look after it. But if you have no fire, you can stay on after office hours and then go wherever you like. This must be like a house on fire. A normal house doesn't really matter because you can always get a new house. But if this house is on fire, you must finish it as soon as possible, because you don't know when your next incarnation will be. I want to be free is this house on fire. I do want to be free, but soon I'm going home and I'm worried I will go none the wiser. You must find out what does not die and what is not born. And this you will find in Satsang. This is hiding in the cavity in your heart where death does not touch. It is the source of the power by which you touch, see, smell, hear, and taste. The teacher will tell you that it is within your heart. So look within, and you will see it, and you will become it. Then you will no longer come to this land of suffering. I want to see it and be one with everything, but the habit of separation and judging is very hard to break. In Satsang it will happen by itself. There is no other way besides Satsang. Only desire to be free is needed. The main impediment for you is that you focus on other things. You must focus on what you want. I have no question in particular, but I also feel that I have not arrived home yet. When you have not arrived home, how can you say that you have no question? You are in the fish market and you are lost. You have to take a guide and ask them where your home is. Everybody is lost, but they are happy in the fish market. There they stay and there they will die. It is better to ask. If you don't like this ugly marketplace, question someone who knows and who will take you out of this market. If you know that you are here, then you can go anywhere, even to the fish market, and yet you are home. I want to have a better connection with you, though mine says that it is enough to sit in Satsang. How can I feel your presence more? Sitting is not so easy, but you tell the mind to let you sit quietly here. It may not want to be quiet, but you must win this battle. Sit and watch what the mind is doing. Watch its tendencies. Watch where it rises from and where it goes. Then you will see that the mind will not allow you to sit quietly because it is attached to the past affairs, past persons, past objects, and past thoughts. These attachments prevent you from sitting quietly. But if you can sit for one moment, it is most precious. I advise you, when the mind goes out like a monkey, bring it back again. Again it will go, and again bring it back. Again it will go, and again bring it back. Play the game, and eventually the mind will stop going. You didn't do this in California because if you would have, there would be no reason to come here. Sit quiet and see that your mind doesn't run out, and if she does, bring her back. Take away mind's attachment to the past, and mind is no mind, because mind is the attachment itself. So remove the attachments, and you will see the light of peace and love. Do this, and if you have any difficulty, please tell me what you have done and what the results were. Did you follow what you have to do? Simply look at the mind like you look at a pair of glasses. When the mind is looking within, there is no object to be seen, and it will stay with itself. Since you are here, take the opportunity to change your old habits which lead to suffering. Then, when you return, your friends won't recognize you. I want to see you alone before I leave for Nepal. You are invited to see me alone. You come alone to me. Don't bring anyone with you, not your clothes, not your body, not your mind. Then you will see me alone. Always come to me like this. I have been in Satsang for a month, and though all my questions are answered, I still feel that I am in the dark and that I can't keep quiet. I feel I will never keep quiet. You could have said, I will never keep quiet. In your country. This is just conditioning from your country. Forget the past and stay in Satsang and don't look for anything. It will just come by itself because your desire is tremendous. The merit that brought you here will work, so just sit quiet and don't do anything. I can sit quietly, but I feel like I have come here burdened and that I still have some burden on me. You have to get rid of the burden on your head. Suppose you have 200 pounds on your head, and you go to a teacher who says to get your mind clean of all concepts. This only adds to the weight. The next teacher tells you to do something else, and it is another burden. Here, I don't tell you to do things, no practice, no meditation, but simply shake your head, and there goes the burden. To say, I am free, is to shake your head free of arguments and other things. Then you will go light-headed and light-minded. We are so lucky to be here in Satsang, where understanding just happens by itself in the heart, and not in the mind. Is there anything more required than trust and openness to be here, to realize the truth? That is enough. You don't need anything else. You are making this Shava Shuddha. You are purifying me and removing my burdens. What is this process? How do you purify this Shava, this corpse? A corpse cannot do anything, and like that it is done. Shiva is Shava, under the feet of Kali. Even Shiva is Shava. Even all of your knowledge is useless, unless you are under the feet of the teacher. This is what that means. Being under the feet of the teacher purifies. People here have such a different look on their faces. What is this difference? Everybody is becoming young here. Normally, worry eats everybody in the world. Who is there that has not been smitten by this serpent? But if there is no worry in a person, then they are forever young and death cannot touch them. This is the secret. Don't have any worry in your mind. This worry is a deadly serpent. A man may survive the bite of a cobra, but if he is bitten by worry, he has no chance of survival. It will kill him again and again. People look so much younger when they sit in satsang and have no worries. My parents back in Ireland are worried about me and wonder what I am doing here. I try to tell them, but I just can't communicate to them what happens here. It seems you have come here without the consent of your parents, and worrying about them is one of your burdens now. You have done very well, not only for you, but through you they are also benefited. Assure them that you are taken care of and that you have no problems here. Some parents send their children off to a university in a foreign country so that they receive a higher education. It helps the welfare of the whole family when this happens, and so the wise parents don't worry about it when their children leave for higher studies. These higher studies may win them a good job, but this education and luck now will give you contentment, peace, and love, which you can pass on to your parents. So stay on here under any circumstances. If they are displeased, let them be. You must be very strong in this affair, and don't try to please anyone who stands in your way. You march on until the battle is won. This battle is between you and a very strong enemy which even the emperors are defeated by. This enemy is ego. She may look weak, but is very strong. She has defeated everyone in the universe and has made them her slaves. Few will win this battle of life. I do not advise you to reject your family, but you must fulfill your desire to be free. While here in Lucknow, keep only this desire to be free. Then, as a free person, you can return to any desire, including wanting to help your family. I am so glad to be here. It feels like the best thing I could ever do. Attending satsang is the best thing that you can do. It is the best work to be done. You have looked all over the world, but unless you see yourself first, you will never see anything else. First, look at who you are, And then, if need be, look at anything else in the world. If you see yourself, you don't even have to look to God. A woman came here recently after searching for 25 years. So many swamis and gurus gave her practices and pictures of themselves and of gods, but nothing gave her peace. Then she came here, and without asking any question, and without getting anything, she realized that she is God, the God she had searched so long for. I am leaving this evening to travel around and visit other places and teachers, but I would like your guidance. You want guidance, but you don't want to stay in satsang and hear it. You plan to leave, so it is better that you go on searching. Maybe after 80 years you will be fatigued. So in the year 2075, why don't you come back? Until then, just visit all these places and the black holes. Please shake me up and wake me up. I want to find what I have been looking for. You have been shaken, and that is why you are here. You don't need anything else. To attend satsang, you must be shaken up. Then you are to do nothing. You have been shaken from the previous circumstances, and now you are after something, and I promise you will have that. Can you say something to me about freedom? First, be free. Then enter the world, and you will never be miserable. First things must be first. In your case, since you are in old age, it wasn't. If you first get free, then you remain young and energetic, and nobody will get fed up with you, nor you with anyone else, because you have seen the beauty inside. You're here now. The past is past. You are here in the field of beauty because now you have found that freedom is the most beautiful thing to be attained in life. The past is past, and do not care for that. Now be here in satsang, and you will see every cell of your body renewed. You will see the beauty that is within your heart and without also. I am happy you are here, and I hope you stay a while longer. My girlfriend, with whom I share a strong mutual commitment, wants me to go to Europe for relationship counseling. I would like your advice about this. The people who are giving this workshop are in trouble themselves. How can they help you? Tell her to come to India and be here in satsang. Satsang is the best workshop. Thank you for the precious gift of being here with us. So often I have such strong dreams of satsang and other things. These dreams are not dreams, but more real than reality. If you are after something seriously, sincerely, and honestly, you will see that even the dreams will be real, and you will dream about what you have done throughout the waking state. More or less, this is the projection of the waking state into dream. But what is happening to you are not dreams, but visions, and these visions are better than the waking state experiences. This shows a very deep intention to realize your own self. Like everybody here, whether they know it or not, one day you will know who brought you here. You will know who your guide is and who compelled you to come here and sit in satsang. This you will know. What is the difference between satsang and psychotherapy? Psychotherapy is a machine which makes money. Satsang simply gives freedom and doesn't make money. It is simply for peace of mind, not to disturb your mind. It gives peace and love. But psychotherapy can be very confusing. If you go to a typical therapist, they will just take you to the past and leave you there forever. In satsang, we don't dig the graves. We find out who we are and find out that we have no disease at all. Most therapists will stay in front of you for only 1 hour, take $100 and then leave. But the Satguru is always with you forever. That is the difference. I am not satisfied. I am not free. What is this dissatisfaction? Thought? Doubt? Where is this doubt lodging? If it is in the head, then cut off the head. If it is in the nose, then remove the nose. This is the teaching of a 7-year-old girl in Varanasi. Her name was Kamali and her father was Saint Kabir. Kabir was giving satsang, and many people were attending it. Kamali asked her father, "Why do so many people come to see you so early at 4 in the morning?" He said, "They come for freedom and truth and to be enlightened. Why else would they come so early in the morning in the winter time when it is so cold?" "Papa, 500 people coming for freedom and satsang? I don't believe it. They must be coming for something else." Then she went away and started playing. The next morning, though, she stood at the gate and told each person who came that her father was going to interview each person before they were allowed into satsang. She told them that they had to lay down with their heads on this log, and she would cut their heads off and then bring the head in to show her father. If he agreed, then the person would be allowed in satsang. She assured everybody that the chopper that she had in her hand was very sharp and that nobody would feel any pain, as she would instantly separate their heads from their bodies. The first party said, "We are here because we have a court case and we wanted your father's blessings for that reason. But now we have touched his gate and so we have his grace and so we think we will be on our way to court now." The second party said, "Our son is very sick and so we have come to see your father to get his blessings so that our son does not die." The next party said, "We didn't come for satsang but for blessings on our daughter's marriage. We will just salute at his gate and be on our way. Tomorrow we will come for satsang." All these people and more had their reasons. After 2 hours, her father came out of the empty satsang hall. Though it was 6 a.m., no one was around except his daughter, who had a chopper in her hand. "Papaji, I told you that nobody comes for freedom," she said. "Why do you waste your time? You give satsang from 4 to 8 every morning, and then you leave and give satsang in other places only to come back after 10 days. You don't even give us your love. Why are you wasting your time? Today everybody has some other interests. So, if you are to see a saint, you have to remove your head, and then he will interview you. Your doubts are only in your head, and when you remove it, you are doubtless. Then you are free. If you understand, you will not keep any doubt. Are you in doubt now? Yes? Then go out and chop off your head." "But Papaji, sometimes—" "Interpret sometimes. What do you mean by sometimes? What teacher taught you this poor grammar? This is a different class where there is no teacher. This teacher has no tongue to speak to the students, and the students have no heads to understand with. This is that class. So if you have a head, you have to find some other place, some butchery where heads are beheaded. This ego is the head, you see. It is worth taking to a butchery. They will take very good care of you. I don't need heads, I need hearts. Here heads are not needed. But there are many institutions that need the head only. Remove your head outside and then speak. Then your heart will speak the language of love for the first time. Allow your heart to speak. You have always been speaking from the head, so behead it like Kamali says. This girl knew how satsang had to be attended. These I's and you's and she's are not allowed in satsang. You are now going to see truth face to face. That is the meaning of satsang. You are facing truth, freedom. Who can kill you? You are afraid of your own self and you depend upon other selves. You are too involved in matters which are not permanent, and now you can't save your life. Millions of times you have been born and millions of times you have died, and so you know the taste of death very well. Now is time to know how to live. It is so simple to be in bliss always, but you want death. This lovely garden of love and beauty you have converted into a butchery. Stop a moment and see who you are. You have never allowed time to own yourself, to reveal itself to you and to kiss and hug you. You have tried using your head for millions of years. Now at least give time to your heart. Keep quiet. Simply keep quiet. If you keep quiet, your own self will come and hug you and kiss you. Allow time for your own self. Satsang with you is so intoxicating. I have come to you to rediscover what is always here and rest permanently in the self. Usually you have to spend a lot of money for these intoxicants. How did you get intoxicated here? Your presence, the best drink. Usually the best intoxicant is scotch, but this only lasts 3 hours and off goes all your money. But this intoxicant will grow more and more every moment. This is not that intoxicant, which will go after 3 hours. You must find a famous label, and then only one peg will last you all your life. And even at that, this intoxication will not evaporate. Very few people have drunk this wine because they cannot pay the price. You can say that the price is very high, and you can say that it is no price at all. You only have to keep quiet, and you will have this intoxication. Simply keep quiet. When your intoxication depends on somebody else, you are cheating yourself. You are deceiving yourself. No good intoxication will come from any source other than yourself. Nobody will give you happiness. Nobody will give you peace. Find out yourself. Only a confused mind will think that there is happiness elsewhere. This love and beauty will arise if you are quiet for this single instant. Then you will attain everything. It looks as if you have tasted it. Otherwise you could not shine like you are. Okay, I am very happy to meet you. I love just sitting here with you in peace with no other purpose. The one who sits in front of me with no purpose gets everything. This is what the gods also promise. When a devotee comes to me and asks for something, instantly I will give it, whether it be a child, long life, a good partner, or whatever. But God also has fear like others do. He says, I am afraid of the person who doesn't ask for anything because I am bound to provide everything always for that person, and I must follow him like a shadow. To the one with no desire, I provide everything the moment it is needed, so I am bound to that person. So it is with the person who comes to satsang with no desires. They are given everything, even if they don't ask. You lack nothing. Rest assured that all that was ever needed is over now. Papaji, I would like a new name. First, I will give you the meaning. When you put your hands together like a cup and extend these empty hands, the diamond will fall into it by itself. This diamond is knowledge of the self and drops by itself. But there have been layers of distractions in your mind which your hands hold on to. These layers are desires. The person who comes to satsang has withdrawn his mind from the desires and returned them to his self. This automatically happens in satsang. Then this cup is ready and the diamond drops, and there is self-revelation. Self reveals itself to itself. This position of the open-cupped hand is called Anjali. You can hold this self-knowledge because your heart is open to receive this knowledge. This is a story from the Upanishads. When someone got emancipation and was asked how he did it, he said, "It was like a gooseberry, and I'm lucky, dropping in my Anjali. I didn't do it, it just dropped down from the tree of Satsang." This will happen if you stand under the Amlaki tree and not under any other tree. The names you get in Satsang are names of love and beauty, and those who use these names get drowned in love and beauty and grace. Even the one who calls your name gets the benefit. The name should be such that everybody enjoys it. If you utter the name of joy, you are joyful. The names represent a new lineage. Out of suffering comes suffering, and so many of your names hold this suffering. But now you belong to a different atmosphere, and the new name is part of this. It is part of starting your life afresh, free from the past. Papaji, does one need to ripen like a fruit on a tree and then be eaten by an enlightened being? There is no fruit to ripen, no tree, and no forest. There is no hope. But you must trust this. Nothing ever existed. Fruits will drop, so don't be on a branch of tree. Give up this habit of dropping. I used to feel very much like a dropped fruit. The first 17 years of my life were like hell. Very few people come back from hell. But I know one person who went there. He was a very good man with no sins on his record except that he once was facing an invading army with a javelin and accidentally pierced the eye of a lizard. So when he went after death to the judge, it was decided he must go enjoy heaven for 1,000,000 years. However, since he hurt that lizard, which had to live the rest of its life in that body blind, he had to pass through hell for a few seconds on his way to heaven. So as he passed through hell, he asked the security guards why all the people are smiling and dancing. They said, "For one sin they are put into the fire, but unlike an earthly fire which consumes once and the burnt object is finished, these fires are very special, and once you die by fire, you are instantly reborn and thrown in again. This will go on for 1,000,000 years. This is hell. But they are happy because you are here. Due to the presence of such a good being like you, all of hell is happy." "Well then," said the man, "I don't want to go to heaven. I want to stay here in hell. If my presence can make them all happy, I'm going to stay here." So the security guards went back and asked the judge what to do. The judge agreed that he could stay in hell if he really wanted to, but not to tell anyone. At the same time, the people in heaven were getting into trouble because, though they were enjoying heaven, they were only enjoying the objects. Somehow they heard that there was satsang in hell, and one by one, until now I think there are about 230 people there. So now nobody is going to the so-called heaven and everybody is coming to this hell. It is a blessing of God and so many saints and sages that enable you to come to satsang. It is in this satsang that you will know yourself. Be patient and don't run away unless you have achieved this goal. The Buddha was my first guru, and my heart connection with him is so strong that it feels that I must have known him. I recognize you also, as if I have known you before. You must have known Buddha before. We have known everybody many times before. It is not the first time. You can note down the 1st of April 1994, about 11:30 a.m. Again, in the same time, we will meet again. And we have met on this particular day millions of times, but most do not remember. Very few remember this, and realize that it will keep on going unless you decide to finish this process of coming again and again. Even Buddha saw millions of his lives appearing somewhere as someone, but he knew it and he was told that when he was the prince of Sakya kingdom, and his name was Amitabh Garum, then that would be his final life. All of us here have been together in many incarnations, therefore we are here. The purpose of us meeting here is not to appear again, as Buddha himself has done. What he did was so simple. He just sat under a Bodhi tree, not speaking, and all was over. He did it, and we also can do it. A story is appearing in my mind, and so I will take a short time to tell you. It is the story of Ramana'S, which occurred about 7,000 years ago. This is a story of the Lord's incarnation as Rama. There was a battle going on between the sages and the asuras, or demons. The demons kidnapped Rama's wife, and in short, Rama killed the demon and brought back his wife. Now they must sit on the throne, and the coronation ceremony must take place, and so Rama, the king, sent a message to his guru to come and do the necessary pujas so that he could sit on the throne with the blessing of his master. He sent his brother Lakshman on the fastest horse and told him to deliver Rama's ring to his guru and to ask him to come to perform the ceremony. So Lakshman went to the forest ashram of Rama's guru and said to the guru, "I am Lakshman, the brother of Rama. We have come back safely from the south, and next week is the ceremony of coronation which Rama requests you, with his ring, to perform. Now the ring of the king is so precious that it can have no equal in the country. It had special diamonds which could be found nowhere else. Lakshman offered the ring to the guru, and the guru said, "I am busy cooking some rice. Go into my thatch hut and put the ring in the earthen pot." Getting off his horse, Lakshman went and put the ring into the pot. But a sound that was unexpected came when he dropped the ring. He was quite curious as to what the pot could contain and felt that it was not right to put the ring of the king into a simple earthen pot. He turned the pot upside down, and many rings appeared, all similar to the one he put in. "How could it be?" he thought. "There are so many rings I can't count them, much less find the one I just put into the pot." He went out and asked, "Please tell me who has put these rings into this pot." Sternly and seriously, Vashishtha said, "Lakshman, you have done it, you have done it." "How is it possible? I am coming for the first time," he exclaimed. "No, many times you have come, and you asked me each time to come to the ceremony while sitting on your horse's back, and each time I have told you to put the ring in the pot. And it will continue to happen like this again and again, unless you get down from the horse and remove your pride. Then stay with me, and I will teach you something, and you will not appear again," answered Vashishtha. So we will keep appearing unless we remove the pride and stop identifying as any name or form, and when you have no name or form, you will realize that you have never come at any time before, not even this time. This is the beauty of this teaching. The truth is, never has anything existed. I have just come from the Bodh Gaya with so many Buddhist ideas of merit and karma. It seems so meaningless and irrelevant to freedom if nothing ever existed. It is not meaningless. Actually, it has great meaning. Without good karma, you would never have come here or to Bodh Gaya. Few people have the merit to come to Satsang. It takes a mountain of merits to come here, and this is how you have come. It is destined when you will be free, just as it was for Buddha. The strength of your merit will be so strong that freedom will come to you even if you try to reject it. If you are meant to be free, the circumstances will be such that you will not be able to leave here even if you try. Papaji, Ananda once said to Buddha, "Noble friendship is half of the holy life." Buddha replied, "To have noble associates, noble companions, noble friendships, is all of the holy life. Papaji, the association with you here has enriched me like nothing before in 39 years of experience. Thank you for being here, when you could just as easily be in the cool mountains. Kabir has said something about the noble association of the teacher. I have to rub my memory because she is old and doesn't like to stay with me. If you associate with a saint for just one moment, your sins that you have committed in previous generations will absolutely be destroyed, and you will not have to appear again. I don't want to just grow old and die. I want to be free of this. Satsang is like a beautiful parlor, which will remove all your wrinkles, because it will show you your true face. Here the price is not 950 rupees. The price is not to think. Anybody can pay the price. If you don't think, then tell me how beautiful you could be. When it comes, clench your teeth and tighten your fist in determination and jump into your own Lake Manasrover. It seems that since coming to Lucknow, I am not as happy as I was before I came here. I do enjoy being here in this beautiful Sangha. What is happening to me? The happiness you had before Lucknow was probably a mind-conceived happiness based on a person or persons or objects who returned happiness to you. Maybe you got happiness just from your own concepts. That is not happiness. True happiness cannot be described. If you can describe it or its source, then it is only a mental flight whose purpose is to gain or attain something. Happiness doesn't come from another person, not even from a saint or a sage. Happiness comes from within. Happiness is untold, unaware. You can't even get happiness in satsang, for it is always within you. You come to satsang and are told to be quiet and not to think of anything, including your own body and mind and ego and activity of the senses. Then you can be quiet and at peace. Here you learn to be quiet, not allowing any thought to arise from your mind. Then you will have a happiness beyond description, and your face will show this within you. Your face will absolutely change when you are happy, and anybody who looks at your face will be happy. This sadness welling up is a good sign. It was untouched in the bottom of your heart, and more was accumulating there for lifetimes. This sadness has become one with your body, and is not separate from it. Like dust collecting on the bottom of a glass of water, this sadness will accumulate in your heart on account of your wrong behavior and wrong activities. The reason that you are feeling this sadness now is because satsang stirs it up and brings it to the surface where it can be removed. Everybody's mind gets stressed in satsang, and what is unnoticed for years comes to the surface. But sadness cannot stay in satsang, and so it is dissolved. Actually, it is the suffering and sadness that brought you here, so you must be thankful to it. Once you know your own self, all of this sadness will no longer be an issue for you. You may feel unlucky, but actually you are incredibly lucky. Soon the past will no longer affect you, and you won't care about these burdens that you have carried. You will only know now. I am so caught up in thought and streams of judgments and feelings. It is hard to feel lucky, though inside I really know I am. You are in the middle of the stream. Why did you enter this stream if you are not a swimmer? Only those who know how to swim can enter the river and enjoy it. So you are advised to not enter rivers if you don't know how to swim. First, learn how to swim, and you will not fear any river. Learn swimming by staying with those who know how to swim. Slowly you will learn to swim as they hold you. Then you will move the hands, and in this way you will not drown. Moving the hands is swimming, and this is self-effort. Then you become a swimmer. If you don't make self-effort, you will sink. But you can also make use of the depth of the river and balance your body so that you float without moving any part of your body. So keep the company of the wise, and not of the stupid people who do not know how to swim. You are here now. Slowly you will learn how to swim without making effort. Recently, in my return to the West, I was treated like royalty wherever I went. But here in Lucknow, I am not treated like anybody special. This is true. Here you are not treated special because everybody is like you. But when you go away from here, you will see that you are treated like a queen, because they have never seen a face like yours in Sweden. Here all the women are queens, but you only realize this when you are away. It is like teachers being trained in college. There, they are all the same, and nobody is special. But when they go back into their own classrooms, out into the schools, then all the students pay them so much respect. To be a queen, to be beautiful, look within yourself. Looking without, you are not beautiful. You must look within to be beautiful. Then this inner beauty will reflect through your pores and attract all those near you. I'm so excited to see you again and to be in your presence. You are most welcome. Let us see each other. I will see you, but you will not see me. What is this phenomena? Usually, if I see you, you must also see me. But you don't see me. You only see my face. Don't see my face. Only see what cannot be seen. Then you will really see me, and I will see you. Kiss your own self, and tell me what taste it has. To describe this kiss, you can only give a kiss. It cannot be described because it is beyond the concepts of the mind. This kiss is no mind, and desirelessness is the taste of it. So have no desires and have this taste. This is how it comes. When you are desireless, then happiness comes. Try this now, and this is happiness. It is so hard to speak about what you have given us. Often words spoken about this are misused and just spoil the person. You must speak about the diamond to someone who can appreciate it, not to the foolish. One thing I can speak of is cricket. I know you love cricket. Can you give us a satsang about it? Yes, it comes and it goes. Whatever lila happens, just enjoy it. Then it becomes a lila. If you get involved in it, you will just get lost. Papa, am I here for Shaktipat or to remove my doubts or to satisfy my spiritual appetite? Preferably you are here to remove your doubts, and after they are removed, the self will transmit its power unto you. This is called Shaktipat. And you are not to satisfy your spiritual appetite, but live as spirit itself. Be spirit itself. I have no more questions. Two people have no questions. One is a wise person, and so they have nothing to ask. A man at home is not lost. The other one is someone who doesn't know that there is something to question. So some have no question on account of their light and wisdom, but some simply do not know. So when the questions arise, please don't be discouraged or disheartened because it is a good sign. All the mud which has settled below the surface of the mind rises when stirred and is on its way out in the form of a question. Therefore, the questions have to be asked, and so don't be shy to ask them. When these doubts have been removed, you will see the reflection of your own self within the mirror of your own mind. Then you will recognize that this is what you came here for, and you can't do this when the surface is disturbed. When you come to the teacher, you are obliged to ask a question, because there is no person who has solved this question. Those who are born have a question. how to be happy. Nobody from the king to the farmer is happy. So ask the teacher, how to be at rest, how to be peaceful, how to love my own self and everybody else. Like this, I request that you ask the question, how to remain at peace. Before, I asked you if you could put your feet on my head in the traditional way, but you refused. I don't follow traditional ways like this. I don't believe in this kind of tradition. It may have symbolized the removal of someone's ego, but feet and head have nothing to do with ego. Both of these are physical, and that means that peace and love would come from the physical. But that is not true. It is your ego which waits for some traditional rites. It will never submit. You think that your ego will be dissolved if I put my foot on your head? No. Why waste time? Why ask for a foot on your head? Why don't you straight away rush inside? Don't wait. I would be very happy to rush in. No, do not say that you would be very happy to rush in. Just do it. Happiness will come when there is no ego. But making plans that you will be happy is for the future. This would be is future and has troubled you for a long time. While your hair is still black, rush in. Don't wait until they are white. What is this longing and yearning that I feel? And how can I give myself to this longing? I have been so troubled by my husband leaving me and about the welfare of my daughter. You have left your home and have come to India. But if you have not left behind the relationships, then you will trouble your mind. Then your stay here will not benefit you. If you are half here and half there, it will take you a lot of time to be quiet. You have to understand that one day you have to leave all the relationships with your husband and children. If your husband has left you, you should be thankful and happy because you have experienced that all relationships start and end. Now you won't be fooled by another relationship. Now it will be easier for you to go beyond relationship to where all is one. Will you recommend which books would be best to read in order to help my contemplation lead to meditation? This is a very good question. I will show you one instance so that you will have good literature for your meditation. There was a man who went to the king and asked just for some stale food which had been left overnight. The king gives him a diamond on the spot because the king has no stale food. Only fresh food is served to him. He gave the poor man a diamond so that the whole of his life he could have fresh food from the wealth this diamond would bring. You are this questioner, no other. From literature you want to learn how to meditate. But tell me what happens here, now, in Satsang, from the beginning. You don't need to read a book to stay quiet and meditate. Yes, Papaji, it is time to sit in front of you and see that nothing ever happens to this space of Ananda. You have found your own friend, which is Ananda. You will never be able to describe who this is with you when you have lived forever. Only in waking do you know who is sleeping next to you. Now you know he has been your friend for generations, though you were not looking at him. You were looking somewhere else. And that is the trouble with everybody. They don't look within their own self, but look for someone else somewhere. Therefore they cannot have a friend as intimate as Ananda. I heard of so many people speaking about how hot summer would be, but nobody ever mentioned how sweet and charming these hot season satsangs are. Some people will like to stay here because when you are in satsang, you don't look at what is going on outside of satsang. Once, I also was in the summer in the south in Tiruvannamalai at Arunachala during the month of June. It was very hot, about 46 degrees Celsius. Most of the people were running away to Ooti and other hill stations. I think it was Major Chadwick who told the Maharishi that all the rich people had gone away to the hill stations, and the few people who are left were too poor and could not afford to go, and were staying with him. Maharshi said, I am also a poor man and can't go to any hill station. Let me tell you, to stay in summer in satsang with the Master is penance, is tapas itself.